ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमिदा मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै. In the last class, we completed the 9th chapter. These classes we have been taking for last 3-4 years. So we have only completed half the number of chapters. Now we are going to enter into the 10th chapter. Earlier we have seen this. The entire Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 parts. The first one is called Prathama Shatkam, a group of 6 chapters, which are predominantly dealing with Jiva Swarupa, the nature of Jiva. The second group is dealing with Ishvara Swarupa. And third group is going to 13 to 18. They are going to deal with the oneness between Jiva and Ishvara. This is a broad division of Bhagavad Gita. So now we are in the second group of 6 chapters, which is dealing with Ishvara Swarupa. What is Ishvara? And Ishvara is presented in 2 ways. Ishvara is presented in Bhagavad Gita as Srishti Sthiti Laya Karanam, the cause of this world, the cause of creation, sustenance and dissolution. And since Ishvara is the cause of this entire world, and that too material and efficient cause both, and being material cause, Ishvara alone is appearing as all. So everything in the world can be seen as the glories of Ishvara. If we have that understanding that Ishvara is the cause of everything and the cause alone appears as the effect, therefore everything is manifestation of Ishvara. And manifestation of Ishvara can also be called as Vibhuti. So everything is the Vibhuti, the glory of Ishvara. Mountain can be seen as simply this collection of rocks, or it can be seen as Vibhuti of Ishvara, the glory of Ishvara. A river flowing can be seen only a flow of water, but it can be seen as the Vibhuti, the glory, the manifestation of Ishvara. That is what is called Ishvarizing the entire universe. So we look upon the entire universe as the manifestation of Ishvara. Therefore, in our tradition, Ishvara is not simply a matter of belief. Ishvara is someone to be understood. Because if you understand Ishvara, then you will not ask this question, where is Ishvara? People ask this question, if Ishvara is that, where is it? So you ask this question, where is Ishvara? Because you have not understood what Ishvara is. If you understand, you will not ask this question. Why? Because there is nothing which is not Ishvara. Therefore, in the entrance itself, we have kept this sentence of Pujya Swamiji. All that is here is Ishvara. And everything can be looked upon as the vibhuti of Ishvara. So regarding Ishvara, we talk two topics. One is Ishvara being the cause of everything, is manifesting as all. And what is the true nature of Ishvara? Existence, consciousness. And afterwards it will be said that whatever is the nature of Ishvara, that existence, consciousness, is the nature of Jiva. Therefore Jiva and Ishvara are essentially one. So this is the teaching. In the 7th chapter also, the true nature of Ishvara and the manifestations of Ishvara, both were talked about. In the 9th chapter also, both were talked about. What is the true nature of Ishvara? And Ishvara alone is expressing in the form of everything. Now that idea is further elaborated in this chapter. And so Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, I will talk to you about my manifestations in this chapter. So without Arjuna's asking, Bhagavan himself starts in the 10th chapter. He says, अथ दशमोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया. Atha, now 10th chapter. And this 10th chapter is called Vibhuti Yoga. It is the chapter dealing with Vibhuti. Yoga means dealing with Vibhuti, means glories, manifestations of Ishvara. So this chapter is predominantly dealing with the glories of Ishvara. Therefore this chapter is called Vibhuti Yoga. And in the first 3 shlokas, Bhagavan is glorifying the teaching which he is going to give. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. He says, He Mahabahu, He Arjuna, Bhuya Eva. Once again, indeed, Shrunu, may you listen to Me Paramam Vachaha, my exalted words, my exalted teaching. So Bhagavan says, what I am going to talk about is not something useless. It is of the highest importance. Therefore he says, Paramam Vachaha. What do we mean by the speech being the most exalted? See, words themselves are not great. But what you are revealing through the words, that is great. Therefore the speech becomes great. So word is great because of the content revealed by the word. So Bhagavan says, I am going to speak to you which is of highest significance. Therefore, Paramam Vachaha. And what I am going to speak to you, Vakshyami. So what may you listen to that great words, yet which I am going to speak. The great words may you listen, which I am going to speak. To whom? To you. Who is Priyamanaya. Who is pleased by listening to me. This is an important aspect. If Shrota, the listener, is interested and enjoying the listening, then the teacher is inspired to teach. If Shrota is every now and then looking at the watch, looking here and there, then the teacher doesn't have any motivation to speak. Therefore Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you are Priyamanaya. You are pleased by listening to me. You are very pleased. You are happy listening to me. Therefore, I am motivated to speak. And I will tell you something not for my benefit, hita kamyaya, with a desire for your well-being. So the teacher teaches for the benefit of the listener. Teacher should not teach for his benefit. Teacher should teach for the benefit of the listener. So Bhagavan says, I will speak to you, I will give you the highest teaching, and to you I will speak because you are listening to very happily. And I will speak to you with a desire for your well-being. So in this shloka, Bhagavan is presenting the principles of teaching, communication. First of all, he said, Bhuya Heva, means once again. It means Bhagavan knows that the topic has been covered earlier. He is not considering Arjuna to be dumb fellow that he didn't understand, did not remember anything. So whatever I say will be fresh only. That is not the idea. So he takes Arjuna seriously. So the first principle of communication is never take your student for granted. Don't consider your students to be idiots. That's very important. Many teachers say my students all are idiots. So if you are teaching to the idiots continuously, who are you? You are also idiot square. Why should you teach? So never look down upon your students. That is the first principle. Yes, the students will not be as sincere as you, the teacher, are. See, the sincerity which I have to this pursuit of knowledge, I can't expect from the students. Because this is my life. So I can't expect. So they may be sincere in their own way. They have got so many commitments, other commitments, whereas I as a sannyasi don't have commitments. So whatever freedom I have in pursuing this, listeners will not have. So I don't expect when you come next class, you by heart whatever all the shlokas we have taught. We don't expect that. So you respect your students as they are. Don't be judgmental. Don't look down upon them. Because if you look down upon them, then you yourself will be demotivated. So you are doing something which you do not feel like doing. It's a very painful job. That is why people have got Monday blues. Why Monday blues are there? You know about Monday blues. Monday blues means Monday you feel little low because you have to go for work. So Monday blues why people have? Because they are not enjoying what they are doing. So as a teacher, if you are not enjoying what you are doing, then teaching will be a big burden for you. Therefore, don't look down upon your students. That is the first principle suggested by Bhuya Eva Mahabahu. He is addressing Arjuna as a mighty armed with all good words. This is the difference between this Vedika Dharma and other Dharma. In other Dharma, they will say, oh Papi. They will say, oh Papi. Whereas what we are saying, oh Anagha. Oh Papa, free person. Oh great Arjuna. So respect your audience. That's the first principle. Second is, whatever you speak should be significant. About the significant stuff you should speak. Paramam vacha. What you speak should be having some solid stuff. You should not speak something, oh, this fashion, that fashion, etc. You should speak something which is of great importance to the listener. So therefore, paramam vacha. Don't waste your time and the listener's time. You should speak something which is important. Third is, you speak only if the students are interested. If students are not interested, then you should close the classes. close down. And how long you should speak? As long as the students are interested. At least majority of the students are interested. All may not be interested, but majority are interested. If they are not interested, reduce the class. That's why we from 1 hour we made it 45 minutes. Because I could see that people after 45 minutes their level of this attention goes down, especially lunchtime, near lunchtime. So glucose level goes down. So their attention goes down. So better not to teach. So never teach, never serve more than what they are interested in. Never oversupply. Because if you oversupply anything, then the value for that thing goes down. Simple principle of economics. When supply is more, price goes down. The tomato season, price goes down. Why? Supply is more. So if you supply more your speech, then the value for your speech will what? Go down. Therefore, third principle is what? Priyamanaya. You make sure the student is interested in what you are teaching. Some people have that pressure to talk. Whether you are interested in listening or not, I want to talk. Listen. Many times the spouse will say, I know you are not interested, but you listen. That is not correct, And then that fellow will be scrolling the phone when you are talking. So always speak when other person is interested. The fourth principle is that you should speak in such a way that it benefits the listener. Not only the subject matter should be high, but it should benefit the student. Suppose I talk about Vedanta in a I talk about Paramatma only. But I talk about Paramatma in a way that you don't understand. You feel, I say that Paramatma is the Traikalika Abhava Atyanta Bhava Pratiyogi. Suppose I say like this. What do you understand? So, I should teach in such a way that it helps the person. The teacher, the speaker should keep the benefit of the listener in the mind. Not to impress the listener, but to benefit the listener. Hita kamyaya. Always desire that my communication, let it help the listener. Therefore, when I teach here in this class, it is different. When I teach in the course to the course student, it is different. The level is different. Because the audience is different. So, this fourth principle is always keep the benefit of the listener in the mind. Even if you are speaking about the highest reality, but make sure it is beneficial to the listener. You may have false satisfaction. I am talking about the highest reality in the highest manner, but it is no use. Therefore, Hita Kamyaya. So Bhagavan, through this first shloka, he is suggesting all the teachers to follow this principle. And not only in teaching, in general, we can follow this principle when we are talking to somebody seriously. Always supply less, don't supply more. In speaking, you speak less, then you will be listened to more. You must have seen that. The person who speaks less, he is listened to more. The person who speaks more, he is listened to less. Therefore, what? You speak as much as required. Now, in the next shloka, Bhagavan is telling that why I alone have to talk about my manifestation. For that, he gives the reason that since I am the cause of everything and the effect will not know the cause. The children will not know what happened in the marriage of their parents. But their parents are the cause, children are the effect. Effect will not know the cause. Cause alone has to tell about the effect. See, we had a marriage in this place, and when our marriage was happening, light went off. So, like that. then immediately generator started. All this. So we have to tell all this. So parents only have to tell. Children will not know. So Bhagavan says, since I am the cause of everything, therefore I alone have to tell directly or indirectly. So people cannot know about my manifestation completely unless I tell or my scriptures tell. So scriptures are the revelation by Bhagavan. Therefore either Bhagavan himself has to tell or the scriptures which are the teaching of Bhagavan have to tell. So Bhagavan gives the reason in the next shloka. Why I have to talk about my glorifications, my glories. Name vidussura ganaha prabhavam namaharshayah ahamadil hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashah. So Bhagavan says, may prabhavam, my manifestations, my glory in the form of various things in the world, suraganaha na viduhu, the groups of devatas also do not know how I am manifesting as all. What are my glorifications? What are my glories? What are my manifestations? They do not know. Maharshayaha, great rishis, Vishwamitra, Jamadagni, Bharadvaja, Gautama, Atri, Vasishtha, Kashyapa, they are called great rishis. So they also do not know my glories. Then what to talk about ordinary people like you, Arjuna? Why they do not know? Ahamadirhi Devanam. He, because I alone am the cause. Adi means the cause of all the devatas and all the maharshis, all the rishis. Sarvashaha, in all respects. In all respects means every product has got two types of cause. One is called the maker, the nimitta karanam, other is called the material. Like for pots, the maker is called nimitta karanam. Pot maker is the nimitta karanam. Clay is the upadana karanam. Bhagavan says, I am both. I am nimitta karanam, upadana karanam for everything. And therefore, everything being effect, everyone being the effect, I being the cause, they do not know me completely. And therefore, I alone have to tell about what all my manifestations are. And now in the next shloka, Bhagavan is glorifying this knowledge. What is the benefit of this understanding of Ishvara? Yo mamajamadadim cha vetti lokamaheshwaram asammudas samartyeshu sarvapapeh pramuchyate. So Bhagavan says, Yaha mam veti, one who knows me. As what? Ajam. I, Paramatma, am never born. Why? Anadi. Because I am causeless. For anything to be born, it should have a cause. And I am free from birth because I do not have cause. I am causeless cause. And I am Loka Maheshwaram. I am the Lord of the entire universe. Everything is ruled by me. And by me has got both the meanings. I, as the creator of this world, I am sustainer and I am the dissolver. Therefore, I am the ruler of everyone. And also, I am the ultimate Turiya Tattvam, Satyam Dhanam Anantam. And that lends existence and consciousness to everyone. Therefore, also, I am the Lord. So, one who understands that, Yaha Vekti, that person is asammudha, not deluded. Because if a person is deluded, then he will be carried away by this material science and material activities. Only those who are having some viveka, then only they will come to the knowledge of Ishvara. Therefore, that person is asammudaha. Among all the martyeshu, among all the mortals, this person is asammudaha. People will not have value for moksha, value for atmajnanam, ishvara. Because the worldly pursuits are so attractive, see, so preoccupying, that this is of no use. This is of no significance. So, most of the people are sammudaha, deluded, therefore they remain in samsara. Whereas this person is asammudaha. And that person, sarva papehi pramuchyate. He becomes free from all papa when he understands Ishvara as oneself. When I understand I am one with Ishvara, then I am free from all papa. How? I can understand Ishvara as myself only when I see myself to be existence consciousness. Satchidananda I am, Satchidananda is Paramatma, therefore we both are one. And in this manner, when I understand Ishvara, then I see myself to be akarta, abhokta, non-doer, non-experiencer. I am only the witness of all activities, and therefore I am not a karta. I am not a doer. And since I am not a doer, no papa belongs to me. Not only papa doesn't belong to me, punya also doesn't belong. You cannot have partial rejection. That old papa is gone and only punya I will retain. No. The ultimate freedom from papa comes when you are ready to let go punya. So, sarva papehi means all types of papa and all types of punya. And papa also are of two types. One is called deliberate. The papas produced by deliberate action and papas produced by non-deliberate action. Suppose you decide, I will cheat that fellow and get money from him. And you cheated the person and you get papa. That is called deliberate papa. Or you decided when that fellow comes, I will scold him. I will make him cry. And then you do that. That is called deliberate papa. Buddhi purva ka papa. The papa with deliberation. In the language of law, it is called premeditated action, premeditated offense. Whereas some actions we do it without a deliberation. Like, I do not know that this word has got this meaning and I use that for other person. And that person felt hurt. I did not know that it has got some serious meaning like this. Or sometimes I may be crushing the insects. They are trampled by walking and therefore they die, and that also will get papam. But that papam is called non-deliberate papam. So deliberate papam and non-deliberate papam, sarva papehi pramuchyate. I become free from all papas because I discover myself to be Satchidananda, who is akarta abhokta. So by discovery of this one's true nature, one becomes free. Like what all karmas you have done in the dream, and maybe in the dream some offense is done by the person, and that person is going to be taken by the police to the court or the police station. And this person wakes up from the dream, and then he is free from all. So, the moment you wake up from your dream, what all you have done in dream is released. Person becomes free from that. And according to Shastra, this waking state is also a type of dream. It is a dream number 2. Whatever dream we know of is a dream number 1. This is another dream. And dream number 2 is removed by understanding myself to be Brahman. So, understanding myself to be Brahman is called waking number 2. So, when we wake up, From the dream, regular dream, then we become free from dream papa. When we have got waking up number 2, then we become free from all the papas done in the dream number 2. This is what is happening is dream number 2. It is something like, in some movies there is a movie. There is a movie about making a movie. So there is a movie in the movie. There was some movie that was done. So in that they are showing that they are making a movie about Bhagat Singh. So they are making a movie about Bhagat Singh, that itself becomes a movie. So similarly, we are having a dream in the dream. So this is itself is a dream. And then here in the dream we sleep and get another dream. So similarly, here Bhagavan says, if you understand myself truly, then you become free. Free from all papa, all punyam. And you become one with me. But first of all, I should have this readiness. Do I really want to be one with Ishvara? Or, no, Swamiji, I want to enjoy this, my family, my grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And next time also, Swamiji, I want to become a pilot, Prime Minister. If all this agenda is there, then you will not become one with Parmeshwara. So one needs to see the limitations of all of them. Then one pursues this knowledge, one becomes free from all papa. Thus Bhagavan glorified this knowledge, saying that this knowledge will make you free from the bondage of samsara. Now, in the next shloka, next 2 shlokas, Bhagavan is presenting his glories in brief. And Bhagavan's glories are of 2 types. One is obtaining in the external world, like Himalayas, Ganga, or in the form of these trees. All of them are Bhagavan's vibhuti in the external world. In the form of various great devatas, various people, Bhagavan is going to say that Maharshinam Bhruguham, Shastra Bhrutam Ramahaham. So Bhagavan is going to present various vibhutis in the external world. That is one type of vibhuti. Second is the vibhuti, glories. Here vibhuti doesn't think of that. Okay, that is not, here we are not talking about that vibhuti. Glories. Vibhuti means glories. That glories in the form of internal condition. Sukshma Sharira Dharma, the qualities of our subtle body, in the form of ahimsa, non-violence, our values, our attitude, all of them are called internal conditions. So Bhagavan's vibhuti are of 2 types. The objects, people in the external world, and the conditions which are happening in the mind. So our own thoughts, our own values, our own attitudes can be seen as the glory of Ishvara. So in India, we have so many temples, but we do not depend upon temples completely for appreciating Ishvara. So we have temples, and it is very important to go to the temples. But in case you are not able to go to the temples, because sometimes Suttakam will be there, Saucham will be there, so that time also we are not away from Ishvara. Because wherever we are, we can appreciate Ishvara. That is the greatness of Vedic culture, that you have temples, but you can appreciate Ishvara without going to the temples. So here Bhagavan is giving the list of the glories at the subtle level, as the internal conditions. And Bhagavan says, you can appreciate them as me. If you have got this quality of non-violence, quality of forgiving others, you can appreciate that quality itself as me. You have intelligence, that intelligence is my manifestation. So you can appreciate every thought as Ishvara's manifestation. Those details we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamad